Where it stopped, nobody
Hello,
knows. Is it on
hello
the
everyone,
Ori?
and happy Monday. This is Ori with Coffee with Ori. Today's show is going to be about lost causes, and I chose this particular subject because of a lot of experiences that I have been having, and not only I have been having this experience, there's a lot of people in the world having these experiences with information. It's not a cause that we don't know about. A lot of us know these causes very well. That's why I call them lost causes. Uh, we're not talking about lost causes like if something happens and it's a lost cause and we don't know what triggered it. Not those lost causes. The lost causes, hey, yeah, the lost causes that I'm talking about are the lost causes that happen when you give people advice or you try to help people and they just don't seem to listen, or they try to flip it on you as if you're the one with the problem, or they blame you for their problems. So that's what I'm talking about, lost causes. And one of the biggest things that occur when you're having, give me a second because I wrote it down. I didn't want to forget these words. You know, when you're going through these changes of lost causes, is that you become complacent. You become a complacent mess. Hey, Sadia, you become a complacent mess, and you also become a codependent mess. Okay, so, and I'm not saying complete mess. I'm saying a complacent mess and a codependent mess, and that's due to the fact that you don't listen, that you expect everything to just, you know, whether the medium or whether the counselor or whether the friend is trying to give you an advice, you expect the advice to fall on your lap or to slap you in the face so that you can have an aha moment, when in reality the aha moments only come when you start to believe in yourself. There is a such thing where we can manifest things and we can heal ourselves, okay? As you can all see, I mean, you're not blind. I don't know, since I got back from my trip, why I still feel moments of fatigue and whatever, and not sleeping well. So I have like dark circles, but you know, it's. I think it's always been part of my life. The way when I think too much, I become a mess within myself, not because I'm depending on any particular situation or any one thing. I think it's because I push myself too hard, and then I have problems sleeping. But lost causes are things that we can all identify. You know, sometimes mothers give children advice, and it's like it's blown to the wind or it's swept under the rug, and they become lost causes. And then when they fall on their face, then they go crying back to their moms, and it's like, why? Well, if you would have listened the first time, you would not have had that problem. And if you would have paid attention, not to what they said, but to what they were pointing out. Because sometimes we believe, hi, Kat, I haven't seen you in a bit. Love your new clothes. Congratulations on everything. So we sometimes have to understand that a wife, yeah, Saudi, you're right, it's instant gratification. But there are wives that tell their husbands what their opinions are, but the wives don't just tell the husbands what their opinions are. The husband will come and complain or come and ask them, and then the wife will tell them, and then the husband doesn't want to hear it because what you're telling them is the truth, and they don't want to hear the truth. They want you to lie. And not everybody, I can't say everybody. The same thing with the husband. The husband may may point out to the wife, maybe you're gaining a little too much weight and it's not healthy for you, but there are husbands that will just say you're getting fat. And that's not the way you go about things. I think that you can always find a way to talk to people with decency and kindness in your heart, so that they can better understand where you're coming from, and therefore they can better help you to help yourself. Okay. But the lost cause that I'm talking about is not just giving advice, but also when you want to help them in order in guiding them, or you want to help them in opening up and letting them know that they're becoming bitter, and instead of them taking it as a positive critique, they're taking it as a negative critique. So therefore they wrap their lips around their nose, and they have this attitude where, you're just picking on me, you're always picking on me, when in reality that's not always the case. Now, there are many cases where where people, hey, where people don't really pay attention, and when we're children, I can understand that sometimes we want to do things on our own and we want to experience everything on our own. But sometimes parents, they don't mean us harm. Not saying that there are not parents that do. There's a lot of parents out there that wish harm to their children because they are jealous, especially women. Some women are jealous of their daughters because their daughters are a younger version of them, and they're much more intelligent, much more beautiful. But, and that's why they root more for the boys, because the boys are not a competition. But then there are friends, you go out of your way to try to help your friends, and then they look at you like you're jealous or envious of them, where in reality, there's nothing to be jealous or envious about. Hola, Corali. I have a meditation, guys, coming up in a few minutes. It's a Reiki meditation. It will help all of us to endure whatever is happening around us, so that we can better focus ourselves within this. But I have an exercise to do before I put on the Reiki meditation, after I speak to you about this particular thing that we're talking about. Now, sometimes you get in a relationship with someone and they seem to have it all together. And then when you start to point out little flaws, you expect them to become understanding. But if you don't talk to them with endearment, and you talk to them as they're just like a piece of cloth, like they're just laying there, then you're not going to have the respect from anyone, because it's a lost cause. You're a lost cause by trying to explain something that was probably thrown in your face millions of times, but because you see it in that person, you feel that you have the right to talk to them about it. And to them, it'll go in through one ear and it'll come out through the other, because to them, it's not that they don't acknowledge that they have a problem, or that they acknowledge that they can see where they've gone wrong. But I think that they just see that is who they are. And had you wanted to start something with them, you should have started it with understanding from the beginning, with love and compassion. And then it would not have turned into a lost cause. Sometimes we have people that work for us and they feel as if they are entitled. And when you try to help them, they know and they know and they know and they know nothing. And then when things fall apart, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that this happened to me. Well, you tell them, I tried to train you and you didn't want to listen because you knew it all. So now, you're in this situation and now you're feeling some kind of way. Well, it's not so much as that they're feeling some kind of way. It is just that they have become so complacent with their attitudes that it's a lost cause. Why bother to waste your energy on trying to help people who technically are not enjoying what you're saying because they are going through something themselves? So sometimes it's wise if when someone snaps at you or whatever, if you stop for a minute and try to see where it's coming from, where this ugliness is coming from. And by you looking at the person and understanding who they're either with, or the situations that they're with, or the jobs that they're in, or just everything about a person, even though that doesn't, it's not your job to be a doctor, but it is your job to be compassionate enough to talk to people with understanding, so that people can better grace you instead of embrace you, in a embrace you in a very coarse way. Sometimes people will hit you in a coarse way, verbally, where it feels like, damn, they just like slapped me in the face with words. No, that's lost causes. So we have to really learn and understand that lost causes are only there if we ourselves put them there, if we ourselves allow people to make us feel like what you're saying to them is not valid, or if what you're saying to them is not something that they need to hear. Because most people who are going through something emotional, they feel like they're going through something that they don't need to hear, that you don't need to explain things to them. But unbeknownst to them, what they don't realize is that in this lifetime, we are supposed to be learning every day of our life until the day we die. And if we're not learning something, then you're not growing. So part of growing is part of it goes with understanding, and it goes with accepting criticism and knowing when to just say, okay, I understand that, and not walk away, and also saying, this is not my moment. I don't want to go through this, and I don't have to go through this. And then just walk away gracefully. There's many ways of hitting this, and many ways of dealing with the situation head on. And sometimes we need to look at things realistically and ask ourselves, am I doing the right thing? Am I going through the right things? Am I feeding my mind with peace of mind, or am I feeding my mind with caca? So there are things that you have to see, and there are things that you have to assume, and there are things that you have to put together mentally, emotionally, so that you can move forward without having any type of negative backlash on what it is that you're trying to do. It is very important that we as humans understand that we are spirits having a human experience, not spiritual having a human, not we are spirits having a human experience, not humans having a spiritual experience. It's not that. We are spirit, and we are having a human experience. And some human experiences can be very disgusting, and some of them can be awful, and some of them can be downright degrading. But then again, it's all how you view it. I mean, I have, um, along with my buddy Sadia, we have clean toilets. We have worked and cleaned toilets, to earn extra money. And as grossed out as we might have been at that moment, we did it, and we earned our coins, and we just kept moving forward, and we didn't really take it personal because it's a job. And sometimes people spend their lifetime complaining just about the littlest things, and I know because I was one of them. And we don't realize that sometimes being being in a spot where you're constantly complaining about something and not taking the time to look, you know, like for instance, I read something today that my friend Kat, uh, you guys have seen her, and if you haven't, look at my Facebook and you'll see her, Kat, and I think it's Jemison. Um, she is a designer, and I'm sure she's been knocked down many a times, but you know what? It didn't let her fall, you know. But sometimes, as spiritual people, you know, we lose ourselves in our own creativity, and we become a slave to what we enjoy. You know, I had spiritual stores and I published spiritual books, and I became a slave to what I enjoy. So I choose that for my next business, it's not going to be a spiritual anything. It Everyone will have a lovely spiritual experience, but it will not be any spiritual shop, you know. And I just think that anything that I can touch, I can create and make it into something beautiful and useful for humanity. And that's important thing. You know, we all have a gift, and whether we're a designer, or whether we're a writer, or whether we are a singer, or whether we are a dancer, we are giving back to society. We're giving back to our spiritual kind. And that's what's loving. And that's not a lost cause. That's something that is it's giving, and it's going to continue to give, and it's going to continue to move forward, and we're going to continue to just keep moving. And that is one of the most important things that we really need to understand in order for us to find our niche in life, so that no one can say, well, I explained this to her 50 million times, or I explained this to him 50 million times, and none of them were receptive to it. They just dealt with what they dealt with, and they went about it their way, and then they ended up calling me an idiot. You get nothing. That's right, Kat. You're absolutely right. If you do nothing, you get nothing. Into the process and fail and try again. Thank you. You're the best. Thank you, Kat. You know, we're family. And family, we stick together no matter what, good, bad, or indifferent. And let me tell you, I've seen you grow, and you're amazing. And I've seen your family grow, and God bless your children, because they're beautiful. They're big too. Um, you know, I have fallen many times, and I didn't fall because I wanted to fall. Nobody falls because they want to fall. I fell a lot of times because I was always giving and doing. And even though spirit, or let's say God, spirits, angels, and guides were telling me, don't be so giving, I just felt that I couldn't stop giving, that it was in my nature to just be a giver. And that's okay to be a giver. But you also have to know when to stop. Because again, you know, that is a lost cause. When you know in your heart, because you've been told hundreds of times, do not do this because the energy exchange is not equal, then you realize, wow, I failed, but I didn't fail people. I failed myself. I fell because I chose to fall, not because I had to fall, because I chose to fall. Again, lost causes. In a relationship, if you are with someone and you don't love them, why are you with them? If you're going to talk about them all the time, why are you with them? That's a lost cause. Let it go. Move on. Move forward. You know, don't make a fool out of yourself by doing that. Keep yourself strong and focused so that you can continue to move forward in many different ways, and you can master and magnify a lot of your energy in a very positive way. You know, sometimes people forget how important life really is, and how time is irrelevant. There is no concept of time. Time is free. Only humans created time. There's no concept of time. What there is an acknowledgement that the hours move, the days pass, the months pass, So it's an acknowledgement. It's just like worshiping. You worship angels, or you worship this, or you worship that. You're not really worshiping. And that's where people get confused. It's not about worshiping. It's about acknowledging the beauty in something else that brings you closer to God. That's all it is. There's nothing more and there's nothing less. It's just acknowledging the presence of something else that brings you closer to God. That's all. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, and there's nothing for you to hide, or nothing for you to feel belittled, or for you to be embarrassed. There are people that go through life saying, you know what, I believe in angels, I believe in angels, I believe in angels. Why? Because maybe they've seen them. I believe in spirit because maybe they've seen them. I believe in UFOs because maybe they've seen it. So we don't know what other people's experiences are, but what we need to know is not what their experiences are. We need to know what our experiences are, so that we cannot fall into the category of lost causes. We can fall into the category as, I was told and I was given some information, and I'm dissecting it in my mind, and when I'm ready to understand it and I'm ready to move forward, then and only then will I move forward with the understanding that this is for my benefit and nobody else's benefit. So that, therefore, you don't get trapped in your own nonsense. It's like when you see somebody and you compliment them, like my friend Kathy. She creates beautiful clothes. I love her stuff. I think her stuff is amazing. I think she creates to fit women, and she just creates beautiful things. I find her to be an amazing person. Now, if it's somebody in the other side that can be ignorant, they'll look at you and say, "Oh, well, you envy her." No, I don't envy her. I don't envy her. I don't envy her job. I don't envy her work. I don't envy what she does. I admire her. So an admiration is not being jealous of someone. Yeah. Well, kind of like I said before, we can only be hard on ourselves. We can't allow other people to become hard on us because we fail ourselves. We are the only persons that critique ourselves, and we can choose to either have this I don't care attitude and move forward, or you can have this attitude where, you know what, I'm being a little too hard on myself, and I'm sure that every designer, when they started, have failed. So I'm not looking at myself as I failed. I'm just looking at myself as I just haven't reached that level yet. And as long as I keep moving, then I won't fail, because I'm not falling asleep on anything. I'm moving forward. Okay. Now, I want everybody to understand that we have natural energy, and our natural energy comes from God. Now, the only place that we have in our body that we cannot see for ourselves is here, which is our crown chakra. And this is our third eye. Okay? Some people say this is the third eye, some people say this is the third eye. So there is an exercise where we can open up our creativity of energy, by embracing God's energy, or the universe's energy, or Olodumare's energy, however you want to call it, which is, you tap on this. While you're tapping on this with your index finger, with these two fingers, you tap here in the middle of the eye, and with these two fingers, you're tapping on the crown at the same time. So as you're tapping lightly, what you're asking your mind and your spirit inside is, open me up so that my creativity can increase, so that my love of the universe can open up, so that the universe can become more receptive to me, and I can become more receptive to the universe, so that everything that's around me accepts me for who I am, not for what I can do for them, and so that everything that is not of positive energy is blissfully removed from me, and my mind and my spirit is able to capture the negative vibration before it hits me and release it into the winds. Okay. And by doing that, you'll start to see things clearer. You start to see things within people. You'll start to be able to advance your what you call your God voice, your spiritual experience rather than your human experience. You'll start to enhance the spirituality within yourself, because every creativity that we create, anything we create in the world that's creativity, comes from spirit. It comes from the wind. It comes from the universe. It comes from God. But it's something that we're born with, and everybody is born with something. So some people can sing, some people can dance, some people can draw, some people can sew, some people can create jewelry. I mean, there are so many different things that can be done. And if we really focused our minds on this, and we just do this every day for like 5 minutes, just close your eyes and tell yourself how I am beautiful, I am talented, I am gifted, and I want to be closer to the universe, and the universe closer to me, and let my eyes be open to everything that is hidden, let it be seen. And you start to realize how you are able to open yourself up, and before anything negative comes your way, the universe will already provide you the information that you need, and it will tell you move, or go this way, or go that way. And that's the inner voice, that's the God voice. Okay. Now, um, I'm gonna turn on this meditation, and for the first thing I want you to do is I want you to take a deep breath, as deep as you can take it, and I want you to hold it, and then I want you to count to 10, and then I want you to slowly release it. And then I want you to take another deep breath. In total, it's 3. So, and then you count to 10, and then I want you to release it slowly through your mouth. You release it. Okay. Then I want you to take another deep breath. This time, you're going to count to 20, and then you will release it. Remember, we always release all the negative energy that we want to release, all those voices, those doubts, all those things that are compounded together that create chaos within our own minds. That's what we want to release. So therefore, you inhale the universe's energy and God's universe energy, and then we release it by releasing all the negative into the winds, and let the universe take it with it. I'm going to play this Reiki energy with you. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to focus on positive energy. I don't want you to focus on what happened yesterday, or how you failed, or how you should do this, or how you should do that. No, focus on positive energy, because by doing that, you keep yourself moving in a very interesting energy, in a different, interesting way. Close your eyes and listen, and think of positive things. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I shut off my phone. I didn't. I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm going to actually send this. Well, you know what? No. Let's just play it for 5 more minutes. I'm sorry about that. Let me see. Then I'm going to send it to everyone that has logged in today. Because it's very important. Okay, everyone. We are not done with this. This did not end. We still have a good 29 minutes left on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this to everyone that participated today, because it is very important that everyone get some information and we have something to meditate on. I feel very fortunate and I'm very thankful to all of you for what you've shared in your lives and with me, and the energy that you give each and every week. I wish you light and love, peace and understanding, and all the great things that you can have in life. It is very important that we continue to move forward and that we continue to keep moving in a direction of becoming more and more positive. Sometimes we go astray, and that's not always the right direction that we want to take. We want to keep ourselves moving, and we want to keep ourselves moving in a very positive direction. So keep yourself moving, keep yourself focused, keep yourself allowing yourself to be guided the best way that you can be, or guide yourself. Just keep moving swiftly. Thank you, Coralis. I think, hold on, let me check, because I don't know if I sent it to you, but I have to make sure that I was able to share. I was able to, Coralis. Coralis. Okay, Coralis, I sent this to you by regular text. This is Reiki Cura, relajamiento, limpiar energías negativas, naturalezas, a calmar la mente. Thank you guys. Kat, blessings, always, much love and light to all of you. Dr. D will put on commercial, and then I will speak to you on Monday. Dr. D, I will talk to you tomorrow morning because I have to get up early because I have inspection in my apartment. So I will speak to you tomorrow. Go to commercial, and I will talk to you guys on next Monday. Be blessed, be merry, enjoy, light and love, and all that positive stuff, because it is important to always keep your mind positive. Dr. D?